It is possible that merely by cleaning these hidden regions, the stench of elderly individuals might be eliminated by 99%. Senior health. I don't understand why you always have such an odd odor. Grandma, it's just your scent, your mother says. Helen Turner, who was 70 years old at the time, felt her entire life crumble as a result of that one sentence. In spite of the fact that she had led a neat and orderly life, her cherished grandchild continued to tell her that the youngster would no longer sit on her lap, and when she was requested for a hug, she would even slightly wrinkle her nose out of response. During that particular evening, Helen hid her face in the blankets and wept softly for a number of hours. That particular odor that some people sense in elderly individuals is not a sign that they are unclean or that they have neglected their health. Biology, changes in the chemistry of the skin, and a few forgotten places of the body that are sometimes overlooked during routine cleaning are all factors that contribute to this. In addition, the good news is that once you have identified those specific locations, the issue becomes very simple to eradicate. In this video, we are going to reveal 6 specific places of the body that are most frequently responsible for that old person smell. And we are going to show you how giving these areas a little bit of extra care can erase up to 99% of the stench. Whether it be behaviors that make all the difference or areas that you might never investigate. Every area illustrates just how much information there is to obtain. Your perception of freshness is influenced by the events that take on behind the scenes. In this lesson, you will learn why some people appear to carry a scent even when they bathe frequently, as well as how even minor adjustments to your routine may have a significant impact on how you feel and how others react to you. Please stay with us to the very end, because once you have gained an understanding of these 6 locations, you will never again return to your previous routines. It is not necessary to spend a lot of money on creams or scrape your skin before doing this. It is about knowledge, and it is raw. To feel clean, confident, and entirely in charge of your body, it is necessary to have an understanding of your body and to put that information to use. If you have ever experienced feelings of self-consciousness, avoided hugs, or worried about how you come across in social situations, this video may just be the thing that gives you the confidence you need to move forward. It's time to get started. To begin, the region behind the ears. One of the regions that is frequently neglected when it comes to everyday hygiene is the area that is located just behind the ears. Due to the fact that it is such a little area, it is quite difficult to notice in the mirror, and for this precise reason, it is frequently ignored. However, the majority of people are unaware of the fact that this region is abundant in sebaceous glands, which are small oil-producing patches that have a tendency to become more active as one gets older. Our skin produces a particular kind of oil known as nonanol as we get older. This oil, when combined with sweat and dead skin cells, can cause a variety of reactions. When that mixture is allowed to remain undisturbed behind the ears, it induces a musty and stale odor that remains for a considerable amount of time after you have showered. There was a gentleman named Walter who was 79 years old and constantly used cologne. Despite the fact that he took frequent baths and always wore cologne, his granddaughter remarked the fact that he smelt a little strange when she hugged him. When he first heard it, he felt ashamed. Cleanliness was something he took great pride in. However, he began to adapt his routine and quickly discovered that he had never actually washed behind his ears. This realization was accompanied by a pleasant curiosity. To make a change, all it took was a gentle cloth, some warm water, and a few minutes each day, to the point where even he was able to perceive it. It was nearly soon after the disappearance of the faint odor that he regained his confidence. There is no link between this kind of odor and a lack of proper cleanliness. Incomplete hygiene is frequently the cause of this condition. Under the ears, there is a little fold in the skin that acts as a trap for oil. With glasses, the impact is amplified since the frames press against the skin and keep the buildup in place. This makes the effect even more noticeable. Not much is required to clean it. All that is required is consistency. As part of your morning or evening regimen, you can lessen the amount of oil buildup by giving your face a short swipe with a warm, damp towel. A gentle cleanser that does not cause drying out the skin should be used once or twice a week to keep the region clear without causing irritation to the skin. Within this context, there is also a psychological component. Behind the ear cleaning is something that many adults in their later years associate with their childhood, when their parents would remind them to wash behind their ears. As time goes on, that tendency eventually disappears, and it is replaced with showering more quickly and checking the mirror less frequently. This area, despite its seeming insignificance, has more weight than the majority of people know, because odors that originate in this area have a tendency to travel upward into the scalp and downward down the collar. They have the ability to influence how other people perceive your presence. Even if they do not voice their opinion, there is a possibility that this is the missing component if you have ever been perplexed by persistent smells. Despite the fact that you have maintained your hygiene, scrubbing or using chemicals that are too harsh is not the solution. The issue is one of awareness. Whenever you reclaim those small spaces that you have learned to ignore over the course of your life, you also reclaim a sense of freshness that those around you will experience, even if they are unable to articulate the precise reason for this feeling. You will have a sense of improvement, lightness, and greater ease in your own flesh. Moreover, there are times when it is literally as easy as going back to the fundamentals. When it comes to daily bathing, the nape of the neck is one of the most ignored regions, and it is also one of the most underestimated causes of body odor in older individuals. The nape of the neck is generally tucked softly beneath the hairline, and it is frequently shaded by collars, scarves, or long hair. This region is a combination of sweat glands, hair oils, and dead skin cells, all of which have the potential to accumulate rapidly without ever causing a mess that is visible to the naked eye. That's one of the reasons why it's so difficult to do. It is not uncommon for there to be no obvious dirt or indication that anything is wrong. However, if this short strip of skin is not cleansed, it inevitably becomes a silent contributor to what some people refer to as the scent of an elderly person. Ruth chapter 76 has always been quite self-conscious about her personal cleanliness. She never skipped a shower, and her clothing were always neatly ironed and her hair was always well kept. She did, however, note that on warmer days, particularly after being outside or in the sun, she would catch a whiff of something that she couldn't quite name, almost like a sour or sweaty odor. This was especially noticeable after she had been outside. She recognized that she was not adequately washing the nape of her neck, especially at the conclusion of a long day, even when she was freshly dressed. This realization came after some time had passed and she had carefully reflected on the matter. It wasn't until her hairdresser mentioned a little extra buildup at her neckline that she decided to start paying attention. A simple change in her shower routine solved the mystery within days. The nape of the neck traps sweat, especially in hot weather or under layers of clothing. If you wear your hair long or have hair that rubs against your collar, the natural oils from your scalp fall down and pool at the base. Add in the pressure and warmth from shirt collars or jacket hoods, and you've got the perfect prescription for bacterial development. That bacteria is what generates stink, not the sweat itself. However, what happens if sweat is allowed to remain in a warm confined space for an extended period of time? The majority of individuals wash their face and their hair, but they forget to wash the thin layer of skin that lies between the two. With the passage of time, it transforms into a repository for grime and odor. Furthermore, because it is so close to the head and shoulders, it has the potential to influence how people perceive your hygiene, particularly in social circumstances such as hugging or sitting quite close to another person. Not only is the nape the place where people's noses like to land during an embrace, but it is also the place where heat tends to rise when you are in a room that is warm. This is the reason why even the most hygienic person can give off an odor that was not meant. Even if just one small area is overlooked, Bathing the nape of the neck is not a difficult task. The only thing that is required is a warm washcloth and a few extra seconds when you are in the shower. When you have finished sweating, it is very important to scrub the region gently, and you should pay attention to how your skin feels after you have done so. It ought to be gentle, clean, and devoid of that somewhat tacky residue that points to the presence of oil that is still there. Applying cologne or lotion to this area just after it has been cleaned can help it smell better and last longer without combining with previous residue. This is especially helpful if you wear cologne or lotion around this area. It is not just for practical reasons that it is important to pay attention to these minute details. But there is also something emotionally powerful about doing so. As a reminder, it serves as a reminder that you continue to care for yourself intentionally. You should treat your body with the same level of respect that you did when you were younger. That, in the areas that you share with other people, your presence, how you feel, how you smell, and how you move are still important factors to consider. Additionally, when you take care of these secluded areas of your body, you are also taking care of the dignity and pride that you carry with you throughout each day. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Under the breasts or in the creases of the skin is the third area. This is one of those areas that people rarely discuss, despite the fact that it plays a significant influence in body odor. This is especially true as we get older and our skin becomes more prone to folding, becoming looser, or becoming softer. These concealed folds, whether they are located under the breasts, around the abdomen, beneath the buttocks, or anywhere else where the skin touches the skin, create the ideal environment for bacteria, heat, and moisture to settle in and thrive. And once that begins, it doesn't take long for a potent and unpleasant odor to develop. And the person who is experiencing it frequently does not even notice it coming from themselves. Patricia, 72, was the kind of lady who always kept a tidy house, dressed stylishly, and took care in her appearance. She was always very straightforward and organized. However, she started to have feelings of self-consciousness during the summer months, particularly on days that were humid. During the evenings, she would detect a faint odor that was sour. She tried everything from altering her detergent to switching her deodorant to even buying new clothes after she had already had a shower in the morning. It wasn't until a nurse at her health center suggested that she gently clean and dry the regions around her breasts and along her waistline every day that she finally found success. The stink was eliminated within a week's time. A lot of individuals are unaware of the fact that even after a shower, these areas can continue to retain moisture for a number of hours. In particular, when the temperature is higher or when numerous layers of clothes are worn. The presence of this residual moisture produces the ideal environment for the growth of germs and fungi. What matters is not the soil, rather, it is the weather. The fact that these tucked-away areas are warm, dark, and frequently compressed makes it possible for perspiration and natural body oils to ferment into compounds that cause discomfort and stink. On top of that, they are rarely allowed to dry out on their own because they are not exposed to air or sunlight. In addition, there is an additional degree of unease that comes along with broaching the subject. When it comes to certain people, these regions are considered to be too private or even embarrassing to discuss. Ignoring them, on the other hand, does not solve the situation, rather, it makes it even more severe. Furthermore, as the skin in those regions gets more fragile with age, the irritation and odor may become more difficult to manage. Itching, redness, or a feeling of rawness could be indications that the skin is breaking down as a result of the combination of pressure and dampness. In the absence of treatment, this condition can develop into excruciating rashes or infections that make even the most basic movements difficult. When it comes to your hygiene routine, The good news is that even a minor adjustment can have a significant impact. Next, once you have finished showering, take a gentle towel and wipe dry any folds of skin, paying particular attention to the areas beneath your breasts, tummy, and any other areas where you have a tendency to sweat, in order to contribute to the reduction of humidity throughout the day. You might want to think about using a moisture-wicking cloth or a fragrance-free powder, in order to maintain a dry and odor-free environment in these areas. Some individuals even utilize cotton pads or breathable fabric liners. Nevertheless, you should steer clear of anything that is very abrasive or strongly scented, as these might lead to irritation over time. In addition to the bodily comfort, this also refers to the ease of the emotions. The way you walk changes when you are aware that you have a clean odor. For hugs, you lean in closer. The act of putting on clean clothing or spending time with other people makes you feel wonderful, and you find yourself wondering if anyone else can smell it, due to the fact that you have taken care of the minor details. You are able to carry yourself with confidence. These minor details are important, particularly when they assist you in feeling like getting back to being your best self. The origin of an odor that is enigmatic or persistent can frequently be traced back to one of these concealed creases. Nevertheless, everything is different if you are aware of where to look and how to properly care for those regions. A sense of embarrassment is not important. Understanding that your comfort and self-respect are worth a few more moments of attention each day is essential, as is keeping informed and gaining the ability to make decisions for yourself. The scalp and the hairline make up Area 4. When it comes to sources of odor, the scalp is one of the most neglected areas as we get older. Rather than forgetting to wash their hair, people frequently fail to clean their scalps. This is not because they forget to wash their hair. Numerous elderly people continue to use the same method of shampooing their hair that they were taught when they were younger. A speedy shampoo, possibly a rinse, and you're almost done. The reality, however, is that your scalp is more than just a surface for your hair to rest on. Every single day, the skin is a living organ that produces oils, sheds dead cells, and incorporates particles from the surrounding environment. Additionally, when those things accumulate, they do not simply remain silent, rather, they begin to emit an odor. Imagine Howard, who was 68 years old and always thought of himself as well-groomed. He regularly got his hair cut and styled, and he never skipped a shower. He was always well-groomed. However, he started to become aware of a slight odor that could be described as sour or oily emanating from his head, particularly on warm afternoons or when he wore a hat. There was a moment when he believed it was his shampoo. However, he discovered that he was not actually washing his scalp once he went to see his barber. He was just washing the hair on top of it. Once he started using the pads of his fingers to gently massage and cleanse the scalp during each wash. The difference was immediate. In addition to the disappearance of the odor, his hair also felt lighter and healthier. There is a tendency for the scalp to produce more sebum as we get older. Sebum is the natural oil that assists in maintaining the skin's overall moisture level. However, if it is not removed properly, the oil will combine with sweat, product residue, and dead skin cells, resulting in a distinct odor that cannot be covered up by any amount of perfume or hairspray. When the effects of medication, decreased circulation, and less frequent sweating compared to younger years are taken into consideration, the scalp transforms into a quiet holding tank for odors that gradually radiate outward. In particular, the hairline, particularly in the vicinity of the temples and the nape, is where this becomes most evident. Hats, wigs, or headscarves can trap warmth and impede airflow, converting the scalp into a little greenhouse. Even thinning hair, which exposes more of the scalp to air, might make sense more perceptible. You might not smell it yourself, but others who approach close, during a haircut, a hug, or even a handshake, might notice something odd. And because it's such a delicate issue, people rarely say anything. They merely quietly pull away or retain their distance. To clean your scalp efficiently, you don't require harsh shampoos or deep treatments. You are in need of time, pressure, and attention at this moment. When massaging the scalp, use your fingertips rather than your nails to create small circles, paying particular attention to the area close to the skull, the top of the head, and behind the ears. After you have finished rinsing your hair, make sure that you do not leave any residue behind, such as shampoo or conditioner, as this can also contribute to the smell. If you use styling products, you should make sure to clear them out on a regular basis because accumulation is a key contributor to the stench that is associated with the scalp. On top of that, you should not undervalue the influence that this has on your overall presence. When your scalp is clean and healthy, it not only smells better, but it also affects the movement of your hair, the sensation of your skin, and the way you take care of yourself. Freshness is something that people respond to even when they are unable to give it a name. If you are aware that nothing is lingering around you, you will experience a greater sense of comfort, presence, and calm. The feeling of self-assurance that comes from accomplishing something solely for oneself is a quiet kind of confidence. I would appreciate it if you could use the 4th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Belly button, which is the 5th area. It may come as a surprise to you, but the belly button is one of the most common places where odor can quietly accumulate. And it is also one of the spots that is most likely to be forgotten about during a daily wash. The navel is a little enclosed space that is tucked into the core of the body. It is a place where perspiration, dead skin, lint, and bacteria all mix together, producing a kind of secret pocket that very few people consider to clean. And over time, that buildup doesn't just sit there. It starts to ferment. The result is a scent that many elderly folks mistake for body odor from other locations, never understanding it's originating from the middle of their own torso. Charles, 74, began detecting a persistent odor that seemed to accompany him throughout the day. No matter how often he washed or changed clothes, it was perplexing to him because he was quite conscientious about his hygiene and even used soap that was antibacterial. It wasn't until his wife inquired about whether or not he had lately cleaned his belly button that he became aware of the fact that he hadn't touched it in years. Through the use of a gentle cotton swab and warm water, he began to incorporate his navel into his regimen. In a matter of days, the enigmatic odor that had been bothering him for a considerable amount of time vanished without a trace. A little cave is created by the belly button, particularly if it is deeper or somewhat recessed than the rest of the button. This is especially true in warm weather or after sweating, since moisture tends to become trapped there. In the event that you have an or if the waistband of your jeans closely wraps around your stomach, it is possible for that region to remain damp for a considerable amount of time without your awareness. Not much is required for this. It only takes a few skipped washes for the natural bacteria that are already present on your skin to start multiplying. These bacteria feed on the debris that is found inside the navel, which results in the production of an unpleasant stench. It is not always the case that the belly button feels dirty, which is what makes it such a challenge. You don't see grime. You don't experience discomfort. Additionally, due to the fact that it is a small confined place, the odor may gradually and delicately diffuse. It is even possible for some individuals to confuse it with the stench that emanates from their underarms or to believe that their shirts are holding the odor when it stems from that small central area of their body. And because so few people discuss it, many individuals just do not even consider the possibility of checking it out at all. Even though it is a simple task, cleaning the belly button should be done with care. Use a gentle washcloth or your fingertip to clean your face with warm water and a gentle soap while you are in the shower. Carefully clean the interior of the navel without applying any force or scrubbing too vigorously. It is possible that you will observe some dark material or even a waxy buildup if you have not cleaned it in a considerable amount of time. It's nothing to be embarrassed about because that's perfectly normal. After you have finished cleaning the area, use a gentle towel to wipe it dry, making sure that there is no moisture left behind. If you have a tendency to sweat, you can maintain your skin in between showers by using a cotton swab that has been dipped in warm water or a tiny quantity of toner that does not include alcohol. Including this seemingly insignificant practice in your routine has a greater influence than the majority of people realize. Not only is the belly button an important structure, but it also plays a significant role in how other people perceive your personal aroma. It is positioned in close proximity to your hands, your clothing, and even your midsection when you are having conversations or eating. When your navel is clean, you are cleaner as a person, and this has an effect on how other people feel around you as well as how you feel in your own skin. When you realize how something so basic can remove so much uncertainty and anguish from your day, it is a modest gesture that brings tremendous dividends. This is especially true when you discover how simple something may be. The sixth region, groin and inner thighs. The groin region, which includes the inner thighs, is one of the most common sources of persistent body odor in older individuals, despite the fact that it is one of the least acknowledged sources. As a result of the fact that this particular region of the body naturally creates more warmth, wetness, and friction than practically any other region, it is an ideal breeding ground for bacteria that cause odor. Furthermore, due to the fact that it is so strongly associated with privacy, it is sometimes the last topic that individuals feel comfortable discussing, even with themselves. On the other hand, if you have ever had a lingering stench that does not disappear even after taking a bath, or if your underwear appears to carry odor regardless of how frequently you wash it, this could be the place to begin. Take Leonard, an 81-year-old retired firefighter who took great delight in maintaining a healthy lifestyle and never smoking. He would go for a walk first thing in the morning, take a shower every day, and always wear clean clothes. In the afternoons, however, he began to detect a musty odor that he was unable to identify to any one source. After ruling out the possibility of infections, his physician advised him to pay particular attention to the folds and skin that are located around his groin and thighs. During the time that he was washing the area, Leonard admitted that he frequently moved quickly through it, through the use of gentle soap, thorough drying, and the occasional application of moisture-wicking powder. He began to take a little bit more time over his routine. It was an instantaneous consequence. Not only did the stink go, but he also had a sense of renewed exhilaration and increased comfort throughout the day. Sweat glands are naturally abundant in this region of the body to begin with. Because of the natural process of aging, the skin becomes more pliable and may begin to sag somewhat, which results in an increase in the number of folds in which moisture can become trapped. When you add factors such as wearing clothes that are too tight, wearing synthetic underwear, or sitting for extended periods of time, the skin is deprived of the opportunity to breathe. In the event that it is not addressed, what initially appears to be a basic wetness can rapidly develop into irritation, stench, and even infection occasionally. In addition, the groin region is located in close proximity to the digestive and urinary systems, which adds even more possibility for odor problems that are mild but chronic. Friction is one of the most significant issues that this region presents. It is possible for the skin to get damaged and more susceptible to bacterial infection when the inner thighs rub against each other when walking, particularly when the temperature is higher or when the wearer is wearing less supportive undergarments. When you are in a hurry, it is more difficult to completely dry the region because of the friction that you are experiencing. Furthermore, due to the fact that it is a private zone, the majority of people just do not talk about it, which leads many people to assume that they are the only ones suffering from this issue. However, they are not. It is much more prevalent than most people realize. And if you are aware of how to manage it, it is a lot simpler to do so. The answer does not entail the use of harsh products or procedures that are invasive. The first step is to wash the entire area with a gentle soap that does not contain any fragrances and warm water. This includes washing the creases that are located where the thighs meet the pelvis. Following the rinsing process, it is essential to dry completely. In order to dry the skin gently, a clean and soft towel should be used. It is important to avoid rubbing or irritating the skin in any way. For individuals who are prone to sweating, using a powder that is mild and does not include talc can assist in absorbing moisture throughout the day. Choosing underwear made of cotton that is breathable and changing it every day, or more frequently in warm weather, is another way to assist minimize buildup and maintain a fresh environment in the area. One's sense of dignity is enhanced when they are aware that their body is being cared for. Some people may have the impression that the groin and inner thighs are private territory, yet they actually play a highly public role in how you feel and how other people interact with you. You carry yourself with a quiet assurance that others pick up on, even if they can't exactly describe it. When this area is clean and comfortable, your movements seem smoother, your clothes feels fresher, and you carry yourself with a calm assurance. It's not only about cleanliness, it's about respecting oneself. Simply put, it is asserting that you have the right to feel comfortable in your own skin at any age. I would appreciate it if you could use the 6th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Lastly, some thoughts. As we get to the end of this video, I would want for you to take a few moments to reflect on the information that we have just discovered. Which one of these 6 areas did you find to be the most surprising? Have you ever come across a particular one that made you think, I haven't cleaned that spot in years? Or perhaps one that you have struggled with without being aware of the reason why? Today, we studied a variety of areas, and each one is not solely concerned with cleanliness. Discovering comfort, regaining confidence, and reclaiming a sense of freshness that is uniquely yours, regardless of your age, are all aspects that are important to consider. You begin to feel more present in your own body when you devote a little bit more attention to the areas of your body that are typically overlooked. And the sensation that you experience is a powerful one. The majority of the time, older folks are silently concerned about how they smell, how others might view them, or whether something is awry without being able to precisely pinpoint the source of their concerns. The weight of these thoughts can be significant, particularly when they are not spoken explicitly. You have, however, made a significant advancement today, not just in terms of improved hygiene but also in terms of mental tranquility. It is possible to eliminate odor if you are aware of the precise location where it is hiding. In addition, having this kind of knowledge enables you to regain control over how you feel in the world, in your own house, and with the people you care about. Forget about striving for perfection. The issue is one of awareness. In order to break the quiet surrounding a subject that many people avoid discussing, it is important to do it in a manner that is respectful, friendly, and honest. When you take care of oneself in such a peaceful and careful manner, you are not only shielding yourself from unpleasant odors, this is a demonstration of the respect that you deserve for yourself. Due to the fact that you have lived a full life, you have earned the right to feel clean, comfortable, and entirely at peace on a daily basis. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us in the comment section below. Please share one thing that you have learned today and how you intend to put it to use in your life. Happy learning. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.